Views expressed in the videos are my observation, analysis of events, persons based on principles of astrology. It's not my intent to predict, forecast absolute outcomes, only suggest how they may unfold. Nothing is set in stone. I could be wrong, but often I'm right. My desire is not to promote fear, only inform about what we see unfolding. It is our wish to prepare our subscribers for events that could affect them, their family, their goals, and their future, to help to prepare for what you may already suspect is happening, and to send a warning shot across the bow and raise a flag of concern. Our goal is to help, not hinder, in these perilous times, to inspire and offer possible direction, and to reveal that a greater plan and purpose are behind all that is happening. Eventually, we will see a brighter day. If you would like to show your appreciation for our work on these videos or this channel, and also the Knowing Whispers channel, you can always click on the word thanks at the bottom of all the videos. Hello everybody, it's Robert Cosmar of the Astrology of Life YouTube channel and the new YouTube channel, the Astrology of Karma and Evolution, along with my 3 Substacks, newsletters, publications, Knowing Whispers, Messages from the Universe, Trump and America, and Deeper Truths Beyond Logic and Imagination. Today my video is entitled The Dark Side of Donald Trump's Horoscope. In this particular video, I'm going to be discussing both in your chart and also my chart or anybody's chart, but more particularly the chart of Donald Trump, how dark energy is able to manifest. And in doing so, I'll also be talking a little bit about the universe itself. Okay, now, this particular video is for me a turning point. I've been feeling for quite some time that I needed to go deeper into my own consciousness and also into the videos that I do to help those of you that are evolving to get a clearer picture of the territory that you are evolving into. And to really be talking to those of you that have already begun the path of your awakening and that your commitment is growing. Commitment to this path grows as you become more aware of the level of commitment necessary to be able to reach these deeper conscious realizations within inside of yourself, or to have these revelations that you, in a sense, secretly are craving, but you may not have reached the point to where you're able to permit yourself to allow these things to happen. So, I'm going to be changing, okay, the videos that I do. And what I mean by that is that I'm not going to be doing as many videos that just kind of explain world events and that, and in some ways titillate the imagination, reveal, your fears and also maybe some of your expectations and hopes. I want to deal with the core question of our times, and that is the need to consciously evolve and to understand your true nature, your true empowerment, why you are here, why you're going through what you're going through, and how to escape the suction that we have been going through for several years of fear. We're at a different level now because of the election. If things hold up as they seem to be holding up, and Donald Trump seems to be the winner, excuse me, and he's also making attempts to try to already screw up the system. Quite honestly, you're going to need the information that I'm going to be sharing with you. This information is through my own experience, it's through my own guidance, my own purpose, which seems to be to talk about the intricacies of the process of awakening and evolution, to try to give you a foundation so much of what is talked about has been talked about over the years about the higher self and about the world to come is something which has been given to instruct or to encourage the imagination. But if you are only in your imagination, if your hope is only in what somebody had as a vision or somebody said, then quite honestly, you're still not only hungering, but your inner being is not getting stronger. Okay? You're still vacillating between moments of intuition and then having these brilliant insights, okay, along with this intuition, and then all of a sudden you're back into your mental body and your emotional body, which are very powerful and very strong, and they're going to be even stronger now. And the reason is because as far as the circumstances are and as far as the universe is concerned, we are seeing and going to see fear escalating. Okay? And as I mentioned all along in all my videos, the key problem is not Donald Trump. It is the fear that has promoted him into the White House. And this fear is very destructive to us individually and to us collectively, unless we find ways to understand and to combat that. And that requires a very profound, honest, deep confrontation with yourself. Okay, so let me go here to this particular video and talk to you about dark energy and Donald Trump. And you'll notice as I'm talking about this that we're talking about the same horoscope that we've always talked about. But we've related this to outer worldly events and to what we have seen him do. What this video is going to do is to talk about why he is the way he is, where he gains his ability to do what he does, where he's been given permission to do what he does, and how this will really set the stage for his presidency and for the challenges that we have to address to our life. And I'm going to begin here in the 12th house. Okay, now, if you've been following my videos, you'll notice that from time to time when I talk about the planets, particularly Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, that I mentioned that they are two-sided. And this falls in line with the great truth about the universe. All right? The universe is not a duality. It is not God over here, Satan over here, and they're at war with one another. It is all one. In other words, the singular whole universe is both what you would call good and that you might call dark. All right? And they are not at war. They are complementary. All right? They seem to be at war because our mind cannot conceive of the unity that's involved in this, that they both work together, that they're both a part of the karmic story of our life through eons and eons and eons. Okay? So, whenever you're talking about a person's Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, they may be subject to a higher path, or they might be subject to a lower path. They may be bringing darker lower energy into that particular life. Okay? Or they may be transforming to a higher level. All right? And all of these things are determined over centuries karmically. Okay? You are where you are because you are who you are. All right? And what most of you that are on my channel are seeking is a further way to escape. Okay? The ignorance, the self-judgment, the lack of clarity about that. Okay? Many of you probably from time to time beat yourself up and you wonder, am I a good witch or am I a bad witch? Well, honestly, we're both at times. But we do have a choice. We do have a choice as to which of these we follow. And that will determine in this lifetime whatever karmic rewards, okay, or debts we create. All right, so 12th house. The 12th house in astrology and Western astrology has to do with confinement, imprisonment, loss to some extent. Okay? It can involve sickness, okay, hospitalization. But on a deeper level, it also represents everything that is not a part of the physical world. Okay? This is why when planets are in the 12th house, we tend to shy away from interaction in the outer world, depending upon what the planet is and what house that it's ruling. Okay? In the physical sense of things, 12th house issues indicate in some way, shape, or form that something in your outer world, okay, is not able to materialize, not able to manifest in the way that, let's say, that most people, would want or consider. All right? The world is essentially filled with people that are outwardly trying to achieve and accomplish things, and also there are people in the world that are trying to go within, to find themselves, to heal, and to become more consciously aware. All right? It is a connection both to the higher power of your ability to bring in good, and it's also an indication of your power to be associated with, to be a part of dark energy. And I think that most of you would understand and agree that that kind of sums up Donald Trump. Pluto in your horoscope is either the house and the place and the sign where you're experiencing transformation, or where you are empowered to create, to manifest, to become more than what you currently are. And in the case of Donald Trump, okay, you're talking about somebody that has extremely a large amount of power and permission to do what we would consider to be dark, evil, bad deeds, okay, things of this nature. And mentally and emotionally, most of the time we have trouble with that. We'll label that as evil. We'll label that as sinful or bad. And it'll generate within us a certain degree of hatred. Okay? In all honesty, there's times when I have hated the existence of Donald Trump. And I'm sure there's times, and maybe even still now more so, people are hating Donald Trump. That hatred cannot continue if we hope to accomplish a world of better results. It will, ultimately, if it is nurtured and fed, lead to some very serious and very dire circumstances. Okay, and I think that on some level, all of you watching this video understand and you know that. Okay, and the reason for my wanting and my need to share with you, particularly on the other channel, the Astrology of Karma and Evolution, these more inner, profound, deep, conscious understandings, is so that you can realize that you have tools within inside of yourself that once they're realized, you don't have to allow the negative thoughts and the negative emotions to rule over you. Okay? That's why there's such a need right now. I feel that in some way, shape, or form, that's why Cash Peters has done what he's done. Okay? Is that he's realized that this constant situation of feeding this imagination of the public about what could occur, okay, has to somehow transform itself into something that's more meaningful and more positive and more healthy for all of us. So this is what my hope is. My hope is that those of you that have watched my videos all these years, that you'll come over and join us in the Astrology of Karma and Evolution. If you want, if you're ready to know more about your inner life, about how to reclaim it, how to find it, how to achieve authentic empowerment for your own purposes, okay, as guided by your guidance. All right, that is my hope. It's to nurture and feed that growth, which is kind of my purpose, okay? Now, other things to take note here. Uranus in Donald Trump's 10th house. Okay, a house in the Western, or in the Vedic astrology of karma, oddly enough. Okay, but in the West, it's profession, it's status, it's career. Okay, Uranus can basically do two things. On the one side, it can be revolutionary change, originality, okay, authentic self-expression. On the darker side, though, it becomes chaos. All right? And see, now you're beginning to see here through what I'm showing you how these planets are functioning on a dark edge. Okay? Donald Trump's 12th house connection to dark energy for the purpose of, excuse me, I have the hiccups, of our transformation. Creating in his life purpose chaos. All right? To break up the Saturn type structure that has been embraced by humanity forever. Okay? To bring in vulnerability, to bring in personal responsibility, to bring in the need for you to decide, okay, are you going to be ruled by fear, or are you going to attain greater self-knowledge and free yourself from it? Okay? And then down here, lastly, we have Neptune. Neptune on the one high side, it's enlightenment, it's intuition, it's illumination, it's conscious growth and awareness. On the dark side, it is deception, delusion, illusion. In Donald Trump's horoscope, talked about this in many videos, Neptune squares his Mercury, deception, okay, seduction, illusion through deception and lying. Okay? So, in just these three planets, if you look at the other side of their meaning, you get a truer representation of who Donald Trump is, why he's here, and what he's doing. Okay? And at some point, hopefully in your growth, you will achieve and understand the need to forgive your emotional hatred of Donald Trump, and to allow yourself to accept the fact that nothing happens in this world that the universe does not want to happen. And that emotionally, we do not like him because he is bringing change and he is causing us to look into our fears. Your biggest challenge is going to be, what are you going to do with fear? Are you going to listen to it? Are you going to follow it to where it might lead you into darker parts of yourself? Or are you going to release the judgment that you have upon the things that are happening in this world and free yourself to achieve a higher purpose and a higher plan for the meaning of your life? Okay? We have not globally reached that point yet, and this is why we are seeing so much of this instability going on. Okay? There are many, many things to be understood and to discover about yourself beyond what you have been taught and programmed. But you have to allow yourself to make that commitment and that choice to that discovery. Otherwise, you are going to be led by your nose, by your mind and your emotions. Okay? So, it's extremely important, the things that are happening in our world. You know this from what you have gone through. I know that many of you have been suffering, are suffering. And the simple answer to that is that you're focused, your awareness and your attention is focused upon your mind and your emotions. And you don't know yet how to release your attention from them. That's what I'm going to be teaching over in the other channel, how to release your attention from them. Many of you know how that's done, but a lot of you don't know how that's done. And I realize that what I'm talking about here may seem to be disappointing to some, because there are a vast majority of my viewers that want me or Cash or any reader out there of any stature, okay, to kind of save you emotionally and mentally from fate, karma, and destiny. And the truth of the matter is, we cannot do that. Okay? You can't ride piggyback on the promises and the aspirations and the visions of other people. All right? You have to reclaim the truth for yourself. And this is the challenge that's presented to us. Okay? Now, on a side note here, one of the other things that I'll be talking about over in the other channel too, is that all the planets from the Sun on up to Saturn's kind of the pivotal point. It's the teacher of whether or not we choose the higher path or the lower path. But they pretty much form the ego, okay? They form the person, the persona of who we have been molded into, what we have accepted, okay? The worldly person that we are, okay? And that, like I said, Saturn is kind of the teacher there. It brings into our life challenges, restrictions, limitations, painful circumstances of vulnerability to cause us to go within and to investigate. Who am I? Why do I believe this? Is this a healthy belief? Do I hold on to it? Do I let it go? How do I let it go? All right. Again, this is what I'm hoping to do for all of you over on the other channel. All right. Is to teach you how to bring in your authentic empowerment, how to understand the basics of awakening. Okay? That is where I'm being led to go, and that's what I'm going to trust and what I'm going to work on. And as I said on this particular channel, from time to time, as I am led, I may post things like this particular video here and talk about them. But the need for conscious healing and rebirth is much stronger now than just doing videos on what if, could it happen, maybe it will, maybe it won't. All right? In the world that we're moving into, that's not quite good enough. I think you probably understand that. Okay? All right. Please keep in mind that my partner CJ, who is an excellent writer and guided by her guidance as well, has 2 channels on Substack. One's called CJ's World. The other is CJ's Whispers of Knowing, where she has some of the best channel content that I have ever written, or not written, but read. Okay? And it would be well worth it for you to go over there and visit that particular channel if you are wanting to be nurtured, wanting to be supported in your growth and awareness. All right? So keep that in mind. I'm not sure at this point whether I'm going to be doing any more live streams. There are things that I could do, things that I would like to do, but 2 things. I'm not certain that the timing's right for that, and number 2, I've always had some feeling like that maybe that's not the direction that I am to go with my gifts, my abilities, my empowerment. It seems that I'm much more effective and that more people are reached when I write. Okay? And I know that over on the other channel, the group's not going to be the size that this one is. All right? I would be very surprised. Or if it is at some point, it may take years. But the point is that I'm feeling like I'm more true to who I am in terms of my purpose and awareness by going over there and asking you if you're ready. All right, to come and join me and to learn, to ask questions. So many of the times I'll get comments from people who I know are aware and awake, but for whatever reason, maybe personal privacy and stuff, they don't want to ask the hard questions. They don't want to deal with the deeper, more troubling aspects of the process of awakening. And that's unfortunate because YouTube is an opportunity for us, in the community section in particular, to really bare our soul and to be more honest and to be more open. All right? And that is so critically necessary if you're hoping to heal, whether in your personal life and situation or whether it is in terms of your relationship with your higher self. Okay? That vulnerability and that honesty, that willingness to share and stuff is absolutely critical to your growth. Okay, so keep those in mind. And as I mentioned, I think a couple of videos ago, the period between around November into the early part of January, I don't feel the strong drive to do videos. At least up to this point, I haven't felt that way over on this particular channel. The other channel, I can't say that, because like I said, I'm shifting my awareness and I'm following where my guidance is leading me, and I will go with that, you know, unless something occurs and I'm feeling led to put a video out, okay, on this particular channel. So I'm not abandoning the astrology of life. I'm just creating a opportunity and a separation that hopefully will lead to a deeper, more penetrating interaction with my subscribers, my members, those that are willing, those that are ready to look into their experiences a little deeper, okay, and to give you some tools that you can apply to your life, all right, and to give you maybe some understandings about what's happening to you. Okay, from the love of my life, CJ, my spiritual partner, my best friend, often my teacher and mentor, we want to thank you, those of you that are members and subscribers, those of you that have given monthly donations or donations on occasion. You know, it helps. You were tremendously helpful to us when we realized what had happened to our home. And again, it is sincerely appreciated. Your generosity definitely, you know, has been a big help to us. Okay? So, I hope that you enjoy this and you'll share it. And I look forward to seeing you at some point over on the Astrology of Karma and Evolution. And have a great day now.